Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I'm back to post a quick video here. Gonna do another request video. You guys seen over the past few days, I've been really enjoying doing these. You've had some great questions about stuff that you want me to talk about, stuff you wanted to see, and I've just really been enjoying those. So thank you very much, and I am back to do another one. I just shot this a second ago, and it was a little too long, so I'm gonna try to come back and condense it here. But this was kind of one that a few people asked about in one way, shape, or form, but just kind of, what are your methods for bringing albums into your collection, playing albums, putting them away, just like, what's your method for all of that? So let me kind of go through it pretty quick so I can try to keep it sharp and precise. When albums come into my house, into my music room, into my collection, usually one of two things happens right off the bat. Either I put them in Discogs right away, or I go clean them right away, but one of those two things happens, okay? Typically, I'll take them right to my cleaning room, and they will go in this little bin you see right on the right. And that's where they stay until everything gets ultrasonically cleaned. So well, actually, I should say, what sometimes will happen is I will go put them in Discogs first and then go put them over there to be cleaned. But regardless, they get cleaned, and then I put them on those little drying racks you saw sitting right in front of the bin there. Have a fan blowing on them, so I air dry them out of the ultrasonic cleaner. And then every single one of them will get, should have had one of these pulled out, but after they've been ultrasonically cleaned, every single one will get one of the rice paper inner sleeves. And I have no preference on brand. I don't care if they're Big Fudge, Vinyl Style, MoFi, just as long as they're one of the rice paper inner sleeves is all I care about. And for the outer sleeves, I use the Bags Unlimited Crystal Clear resealable sleeves. I love the resealable sleeves. I love the crystal clear, how it makes the artwork pop. I mean, it shows up as glare here, but really makes the artwork pop, and those are pretty awesome. Actually, I'll keep this out for a second. So that's what they get after they're cleaned. Now, each album, once they have their outer sleeve and inner sleeve and all of that, and sometimes this can take place before, but there's at least one of 3 stickers that each album will get. Every single album will get one of these stickers, all right? Which, here's kind of a close-up of that so you get an idea. So every single album gets one of those, and as you can kind of see, and as you just kind of saw there, I put it on the back there, so then the very top line is the year the album came out, not the pressing, but the year that it came out, then the condition of the vinyl, using everything from VG to excellent to near mint, and all the pluses and minuses that go with all 3 of those. The condition of the cover is on the 3rd line, and then the pressing is on that bottom line. So that's where I specify 81 US pressing, 79 UK pressing, blah blah blah. And then to the right of that, you see there's 3 lines with a $sign over there, which is where I put the value. And I put those 3 lines on these because as quick as values can change, that just is kind of the easiest way to put a line on the top one and go right down to the next line and say this is a new value. And it's usually something, I'm like, if something is a $40 record and all of a sudden it's selling for 50 or 55, I usually don't go in and make a change with that, but something goes from selling from 40 on the regular to selling, for 80, 90 on the regular, yes, I go in and try to update that and keep things updated. So that's what that sticker is on the back. And that little UC with the box that you saw on the back of there, that basically stands for ultrasonically cleaned. So that's the box that I check so I know that it's been ultrasonically cleaned. Because what can happen sometimes is I may come home and just start putting my albums in Discogs, which means I put the sticker on the back, I put all the information on the back, but it hasn't been ultrasonically cleaned yet. And that just keeps me very clear on exactly what stage every album is in. If I walk away, set something somewhere, things get mixed up or whatever, I just clearly know what stage every single album is in. Because it only gets that information once I put it in Discogs, because that's where I get the information from. So sometimes you might see an album sitting around on my shelf or something where it has the white sticker, the UC box is checked, but none of the information is filled out. Well, great, I know it's been ultrasonically cleaned. I haven't put it in Discogs or my database yet. So pretty much that simple. So you have that sticker for the back of every record. Some stickers, if they are some albums, if they're gold stamp promos, they will get one of these. So that's my gold stamp promo sticker. And if they are a significant OG pressing, they will get one of these stickers. And so when I say significant OG pressing, that just simply means that album being an original pressing actually has some level of significance to it. Because, you know, you could have a ton of like 80s albums that were put out that never were reissued. So everyone is an OG pressing, but like there's nothing significant. That's just the album. But, you know, if you have a Ramones album and a 2005 reissue as compared to a 1977 original pressing, like that is significant. So significant OG pressings get a sticker, and it's just, again, a fun thing that I like to do. It makes my collection fun to me. So those are the 3 stickers that I have. All right, so now we got everything cleaned, we got everything in the sleeves, we got the stickers and everything. It is officially in the collection. So now, what's the next step with that album? Well, you guys always see me reach right over here to this little shelf when I'm doing my recent finds video. And here's kind of just a snapshot of what that looks like right now. So everything you saw on the right, those are albums that I have not yet shared in a recent finds video. And that's the little stack I usually pull 5 albums from to show you for recent finds. The stack to the left is all the stuff that I haven't listened to yet, because I have to listen to every single song on every single album before it gets put into my collection. That's just an absolute rule. All right. So that way I'm not just buying anything. I'm not buying anything and just tucking it on the shelf and, you know, going back later like, oh, I didn't even listen to this side of this album, or I didn't even, you know, blah, blah, blah. So now that doesn't apply, of course, if it's an album, like if it's a Ramones album and I found an original pressing. It's like, well, yeah, I've heard the entire album, so I know every song on it, so I don't have to listen to it again before I put it on the shelf. It can just go right to the shelf. But anyway, so that's kind of what's on the left side there. So so then, now that we have that set up, now it comes down to the listening part. And basically, if you check out both of my systems, I have my system here in the office. Then I have my main system in my main music room. And you kind of notice there I have 2 turntables on each system. And that's because there are a number of different ways that I like to listen to music. Sometimes, like a lot of us will do, we'll sit back and just kind of throw the album on, listen to it from start to finish as the artist intended, and, you know, just kind of sit back, chill, and enjoy it, which is where, you know, kind of, I can get out of the way, like why that chair is set up over there, and, you know, just that's where you just kind of sit and chill and just take in, it's in the sweet spot, you take in the entire album. But then there's just as many times that I refer to it as kind of being in DJ mode, where there's only 1 or 2 specific songs that I am craving to hear off of this album. And I put that album on and I want to hear the hits, right? I want to hear that hit. I want to dance around the room to that song and jam out. But then as soon as that song is over, I want to hear this hit. And so with having the 2 turntables, I love the idea of, and I love just kind of doing it while I'm jamming to this song. I'm flipping through the bins, I'm pulling this one out, I'm prepping the next album, getting set, and as soon as that one's over, boom, now we're jamming to that one. And now I'm putting that album away, I'm flipping for the next one, and I just always refer to that as when I get into DJ mode, is the way I refer to that type of a listening session. But yeah, sometimes I just really enjoy that, and then sometimes I enjoy just the kicking back, but I like having the option to do both since I do like both so much. So that's the reason for the 2 turntables on each system. As far as, actually taking the albums and putting them on the turntable, they're ultrasonically clean. That knocks out pretty much all the static out of the albums, going to the rice paper sleeves, resealable, not the resealable outer sleeves. So rarely do I ever pull something out and find like some dust on it where I need to like use a brush or something like that. I mean, I do have an anti-static brush over there, but I rarely end up needing to use it. The only type of thing that I may do after a few spins is I have these two things right here for cleaning the stylus. Let's just say needle. Let me just keep the language simple. For cleaning the needle. This one right here is just kind of a basic stylish brush where you have your stylus / needle, and you just kind of take this and just rub it across it just like that, and it does a great job of pulling up lint or any dust or anything off of your stylus. And you can get these on Amazon like literally for $8 or something, like very, very inexpensive. And then I also have this one that I'll use sometimes, just with, I think that will pull off the lint, but I think this can do a little bit better sometimes in needing to get to any grime that's kind of on there, if that kind of, builds up. But it's kind of like a gel type of thing, but it's really, really sticky. I don't know if you can see my finger kind of pulling it off there. But just set this on my turntable, let the stylus dip down into it, pull it right back up, and you can really kind of sometimes feel it actually pulling a little bit, kind of really taking that stuff off. So this actually works pretty darn good. But on a regular spin to spin, I'm using this every, I don't know, every often I just kind of think about it. I'm like, let me just kind of go in and do a gel cleaning, if you want to call it that. But that's about the only thing I do in terms of prepping to put something on the turntable, because everything is kind of clean and kind of ready to go. After I'm finished listening to an album, I usually put everything right back on the shelf. I'm not one of those people that ever builds up the 70 albums that's been pulled that I need to put away and that type of thing. That never happens. Which is why I made these little markers that are kind of scattered throughout my collection. Like here's a couple of them right here. And it's just, a piece of cardboard, and I, took some into magazines and just cut out some pictures and taped them on there. But yeah, I pull an album, I put one of the markers right there, and so when I'm done, just, now I guess hard to figure out how to put your albums back anyway, but that just makes it even that much easier. Or if I have friends that are over, or family that's over, if they're going to pull out an album or something like that, they kind of know exactly where to put it back so they don't accidentally go set it somewhere and I'm looking all over the place trying to find this album. But yeah, just put everything back. So that's actually kind of simple when I'm done. The only thing I won't put back is I have this little crate right over here, and that's where I put all the albums that I share in my What's Been Spinning videos that I do. So that's where I keep all of those. And the only kind of little rule that I have with the What's Been Spinning is I only put stuff in the What's Been Spinning box that I set back and listen to from start to finish. So that's just a little rule I have in my mind, because I feel like if I grab an album and I listen to 2 songs off of it and I go to the next album, I don't really feel like I spun that album. Like I just listened to a couple of songs off of it. I really didn't spin the album. There's almost some weird feeling like I would be dishonest with you guys if I said this is what I've been spinning. Because it would almost feel like I heard a song on the radio, I heard a song on XM radio, so that's what I've been spinning this week. It's like, no, you heard a song on XM radio, you didn't spin that album. So I know, one of the many weird things that we have, but anyway, so there you go, guys. That's kind of my whole little process of bringing in, listening, all of that kind of stuff. I can't think of anything else to add. I am the kind of person, I would say this, I'm not one that really blasts my stereos. So I know some people, like, they freaking rock out and they want to shake the walls and all that kind of stuff. Typically, my ideal listening volume is a mid-range, like just enough to fill up the room, but not like you don't really hear things working. Like you don't hear the speakers really working or the amps like really working. Just enough to fill up the room. So I like kind of a nice medium volume with a full low end, with a very heavy, thick low end to it. That's just kind of my comfortable listening realm. It just feels like, I don't know how else to put that, but I just thought I would kind of throw that in there. So anyway, as always, VC, let me know what you think. Thanks again for the questions, guys, the request, and we will talk to you soon.